cooperative federalism, why it is in the news. When the Lok Sabha's composition changes dramatically in 2026, the Indian constitution may face an unprecedented crisis. Let's see how and why. Seats in the Lok Sabha have been based on the 1972 census since 1976. As a result, the freeze provided an opportunity to ensure that India's most prosperous states were not penalized politically for their achievements. What do we mean by that? Because as you can see, large state, we're talking about this delimitation, we are talking about constituencies, election constituencies, formation, and we are also saying the regrouping of the seats in the Lok Sabha. They will be entirely cast very new now. The entire new cast will be done in terms of casting new seats in the Lok Sabha, in the Rajya Sabha, based on the population and delimitation of the boundaries and so on. So the seats in the Lok Sabha have been already based on the 1971 census and have been there since 1976. So whatever the present strength we are seeing today is based on that. Now, as a result, the freeze has been continued till 2026. Now, what is the statement that most prosperous states were not penalized politically for their achievements? Well, you see, there are large states, there are small states. Very often, large states are very vocal, very dynamic, very aggressive in their demands, and they get the attention of the state. But whereas the small states are not so much taken seriously, are not heard. That's what they feel. So as a result, they should not be penalized politically for their achievements. Small states are doing very good. As you know, Kerala, as you know, many of the states, Goa, they may be doing very well, but they're very small states compared to the Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Bihar, as you can see. So Madhya Pradesh, these are all big states. So they should, small states which are doing very well should not be penalized for their achievements. That is the point. All citizens are equal in a democratic system and are entitled to equal representation. However, larger states are more likely to dominate national debates. This is what we discussed. So larger states always engage the attention of the center. They always represent in the forum. Always their ministers, honorable ministers of the states are lobbying in the center. They are touring and camping in Delhi, capital city, trying to get as many funds as possible under various schemes, under various government programs. Let it be roads, let it be infrastructure, let it be government schemes, post-matric scholarship, midday meal scheme. Talk about anything. Large states make their presence felt. They assert, and sometimes the clamor, amidst the clamor and the noise, the smaller states' representation go unattended or unrepresented. So this is the problem. Even if it is represented, not attended very properly. So this is the thing. Small states are concerned that they will receive a small economic share. That's why whoever fights and puts their case forth also makes a little more assertion. Only they get the attention, they get the major economic share. Because the larger states, they come with the statistics, the overwhelming number, large population, so-called backwardness, and the need of the marginalized communities to be supported, because the number will be sheer number will be very high for those states. Apparently, even they will attract more funding. So it's logical, of course. But in this din and rattle, in the noise, small states are concerned. They will receive a smaller economic share. Now, that is the one apprehension that is expressed. To overcome this fear, federal democracies have incorporated various things into their governing structures in order to strike a balance. Very good. You know, the constitution has been very well drafted, and the quasi-federalism, federalism, cooperative federalism have been talked about. There should be a strong center, but at the same time, there should be the federal in function, while there is a unitary in spirit as a country. But states should be given more autonomy, more powers, more devolution of powers, devolution of taxes, and economic share of the programs funding and pooling of the resources. Now we are talking in the recent one is GST to be added into the major demand by states. So they should get their larger pool. So the 15th Finance Commission is the allocation of distribution of taxes shares of revenue between the state and the center. So we see these are all the issues that are coming up. So the various the countries drafting of the constitution has incorporated these governing structures so that they can strike a balance. However, India has a unique quasi-federal structure. India has a unique quasi-federal structure. Indian diversity needed a strong federalism, but a strong center was also established. Yes, we need to have a strong center as much, because the country should be more powerful. When the country is strong, so the rest of the states will be strong. Of course, the rest of the states are strong, the country will be strong. The reverse can be argued in terms of the development progress. After all, the progress of the nation or country is the reflection or sum total of the progress achieved by different states. So we need to have a good center, a strong center, as well as good federalism features. Sometimes, because of bad history, if you refer sometimes back recent happenings, giving power in the hands of states was not an option. So give more powers to the states was not a very good experience, as it has been seen. So this is one matter of concern by the center for their reluctance or hesitation to give more power in the hands of states, though it is a quasi-federal structure. Since then, new states have been formed within the union in response to public demands for greater autonomy. You know, there have been many demands for separation of many states, formation of more states. Telangana is one such state, the recent state to be formed. So you see, there have been many states have been formed since that 76 we are talking within the union in response to public demands for greater power. So there is always a greater demand for which we get more powers. We should be made autonomous. We should be not be depending too much on the center, and they should only be supporting. Their role is to be facilitate and allow the flow of funds coming from center to state, and there should not be any hindrance, and there should not be any politics that only center a party which is heading at the center, and those those party ruled states only should be given priorities, and the opposition party led governments among different other states, other parts of India should get secondary priority or lesser priority. This is something what is being discussed and also disputed about. So new states have been formed with the response to public for greater autonomy. So devolution of powers will not break national bonds of affection and patriotism. By giving more powers, patriotism is intact. After all, we always respond as a country, as a nation, and we always feel proud to be an Indian. So, but it will also put them under serious strain when one part of the country is given more power than the other. So you see, this is the problem. Supposing larger states are given more powers than the smaller states, then based on this formation of this regrouping of the seats, recasting of the seats of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now, when you do this, there can be representation from a larger representation from larger states and smaller representation from smaller states. So as a result, there will be if you look at the numbers, so there will be, it will put them under serious strain when one part of the country is given more power like large state than the small state. This is the context in which we are talking about. Everything must change for everything to remain the same. Interestingly, only change is constant. Okay, what is change? Change is the only constant feature, which means everything must change for everything to remain the same. So there must be certain change, keeping in view of the recent trends and politics, increasing the population, delimitation aspects, drawing new boundaries, formation of new states, formation of small states, demand for more smaller states. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar also mentioned that smaller states can perform better, can function effectively. We are seeing that in some of the states of our in the Indian context, they have been doing extremely well in terms of their development indices and also progress and development and their contribution to the nation. So the smaller state, there is a demand for the creation of more smaller states, and the demands persist. But the question is, when we are devolving powers, so the larger state will get the larger chunk of the economic resources as much as the power, and compared to the smaller states, and perhaps they may be the larger state may be overshadowing the smaller state in terms of their representation, in terms of getting the attention from the center, and also making their presence felt. So in the coming years, we'll have to balance the competing claims of democracy and federalism. While democracy has to be is at the root of the structure of the nation, or the federal structure of the nation, as well as the geographical structure. The democracy as a nation, the democracy is the root of our basis of our country. But at the same time, when we have a strong center, we also should have federalism. Strong center to defend the territorial integrity and assure the citizen security and safety for all its citizens, and protect from any external threat. That's why we need strong center. And at the same time, we need also excellent federal features, so that state and center work in a very, very good, the healthy atmosphere, in friendly atmosphere, and an environment conducive for growth and development, and the center acts as a facilitator and balancing the competing claims of democracy and federalism. Now, that is the one of the important items that has come in the paper.